video, friendos. I am so excited that you have clicked on my video. Today we'll be reviewing the Huda Beauty Empowered Palette together. We're going to find out if this $67 palette is going to be worth your buck. I am not sponsored, I'm not affiliated, and this palette was not sent to me in PR, so these are just my honest thoughts. And Huda Beauty is one of the 5 top brands that I cover on my channel. If you are interested in the brand, if you love Huda Beauty and you want to hear more, even when I have to be brutally honest, then friendos, please go ahead and hit subscribe, and let's get into today's video. Friendos, just stay tuned. So friendos, I'm going to start this video off by reading to you so you don't have to. We're going to Huda's website so we can read all about the Empowered Palette. So this is the ultimate everyday palette. Own your power with this luxurious lineup of buttery smooth golds, coppers, browns, and neutrals in a variety of textures, including intensely pigmented mattes, creamy gel liner hybrids, foiled chrome metallics, and a blingy wet look shimmer. Ooh, effortlessly easy to apply, build and blend. This intensely pigmented palette is perfect for creating your everyday beat, a dramatic smoky eye, a rich metallic look, and so much more. Your options are limitless. Simply use a brush or your fingertips to apply. Get ready to feel inspired and look confident AF. So guys, this kind of sucks. I was hoping I would be able to tell you which shadows are which formulas, but she does not specify on her website which are which. She just says what's included and what different formulas are included. And here is the lovely palette herself. So we did download a QR code scanner to our phones to be able to pull up. There is a competition. How exciting. There's going to be 3 winners chosen, and it's for a mentorship with Miss Huda Katan. So let me go there so I can read you that as well. So it takes us to this page right here. It says Huda Beauty Empowered, win a mentorship session with Huda to empower your dreams. We want to empower you. In 2012, Huda started her journey to build her dream business. Now she wants to empower you to do the same. 3 lucky winners will join a group mentoring session with Huda where she shares her experience and gives you the chance to ask her all of your questions on empowering yourself and maximizing your potential. There was a comment there that did not need to be there. Okay. To Grammarly away. So 3 winners will be announced on January the 16th, 2023. And then you just fill this out if you want to win. Here's the inside. So friendos, let's get to swatching. First row. Also worth mentioning, I have dye on my fingers. I can't get it off. Second row. Third row. So friendos, my first thought on this palette is I think it's gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of some of the sunsets that you see in the springtime at the beach, where they're not super colorful. They're not some of the brightest sunsets, but you just have those beautiful tinges of oranges and golds that you see in the sky. And then coming down on the water looks kind of gray, indigo, you know, that kind of feel. That's what it feels like to me. So far, this just feels like a take on a subdued, beautiful beach sunset. And if you've been a subscriber of mine or a viewer of mine for very long, you know I am all about the oranges and yellows. So yeah, there's a lot for me to love in here. I do feel like, and I feel like this on most Huda palettes, not all, but most, there's a lot of redundant colors in here, especially with the mattes. The coral shades just, did we need that many corals? I don't feel like we did. But you know what? These things are designed to sell on Instagram. So they have that very good cohesive feel to it. Now, will I be able to get a plethora of looks out of this palette? You know what? We're going to find out. So today we're just going to be doing a look, but you guys know I always do a 2-look 1 palette video after I review a palette. So we'll find out that part then. But today, let's just find out how the shades perform on the eyes. Okay, friendos, let's get into it. So we will start out today with this plum shade right here called Confident. I have a very skinny brush. It's an easy crease definer from Complex Culture. We're going to dip into that. I'm going to be kind of messy with this, you guys. I'm going to go right into my crease, maybe a little bit above, not too far above though. We're going to try to keep it concentrated. And my initial impression of this first shade is perfection. We've got the pigmentation, it blended out easily. I have nothing bad to say about the shade. I am going to build it up because I am looking for something a little bold today. So Friendos, next we will go in with Winter, and this right here is a purpley gray. I'm gonna go right on top of the line I just put down. We're on a slightly more fluffy brush, so this will cover more territory. I also wanna note that I am going in with a soft hand because I don't wanna completely blend away the line that I just put down. So Friendos, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a brush. It's essentially the same shape as the last one I used. It's a little bit more fluffy. I'm doing my best to not blend away that good, rich, plummy smokiness that I have set down. But I do want this to look a little bit more blown out, and I want it to look a little bit more purple. Right now it's looking more gray. So I think what I'm going to do now is do a ratio between Winter, Get It, and Rebel. So Rebel is this true mauve. Winter, of course, was the shade that I just put down. And then we have Get It, which is very coral. I don't want this to end up too orange. We're going to put down some orange. Trust me, guys, I love orange. I want this to look a little bit different from what we normally do. So we're going to do a third Get It, a third Winter, and a third Rebel. So let's get into that. I'm going in very light-handed, and I'm not going directly on top of what I'm doing. I'm doing it directly above the line that I put down, but again, I'm trying to avoid the center of my initial placement. I'm going a little bit above it. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and I do feel like this side is a little bit darker than this one, so I'm going to go back in with Winter. I'm going to deepen it up over here. And now, guys, we're going to go in with the shade Best Self. This is a light peachy coral, and this is on my LRC short shadow brush. You guys can see it's nice and flat. Way more orange than what it looks like in the pan. Do not be fooled, Friendos. So perfect. Now I have this as my base. I'm going to go repeat this look on the other eye. So Friendos, she's a work in progress. Don't give up the faith. I will say that so far, every shadow that I've tried, I've been impressed with. None of them are performing poorly. They're all doing great. Bringing the pigmentation, bringing that potency. They're blending out great. Nothing bad to say so far. But this will be a true test of the shimmers because I think we should go in with one of the gold shades. I'm going to try to do this on a brush. I'm going to tell you already, I think this is going to be a disaster because the gold shades are all over my palette. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, it's all over. I don't want to... I'm trying to be cautious about how I hold it up because I don't want it to just fall on me. So I think we'll start out with Charisma. Now, most people will stick their fingers right into the palette. Not everyone likes to do that. So for those of you who don't like doing that, I'm going to try it first on a brush, and we're going to try it without spraying it. Really having a hard time getting picked up on the brush. I am going to try to be careful though. Okay, we're not getting the payoff that we need. I'm going to try with my finger. There she is. She ain't playing. Okay, so let me try to get some on the brush and then spray it because I'm looking for some precision in this look. So I need a brush to make that happen. And we are starting to see just a little bit of fallout on my face, even with me spraying it. Okay guys, so right next to it, I'm not going to switch brushes. We're going to go in with Visionary. And this one feels very slick, very buttery. I'm not sure exactly what color it's supposed to be. I think it's sort of like a burnished mauve. Let's find out. And this one's getting on the brush easily. This one is gorgeous. So next, Friendos, I have this old brush from Tarte, and this is supposed to be an eyeliner brush. It's bent purposefully. I don't really have that much experience with this, but we're just gonna try it out anyways. I'm going to go into the shade Worthy, the very, very dark plum, creamy shade. I'm guessing this is something that could be used for an eyeliner. Out of all the ones in the palette, I feel like that one and the black one are probably supposed to be the eyeliner shades. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this brush or not because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I might switch brushes again. We might go through a few brushes, you guys. I'm not really sure what I want to use with this. Switching again. This one is a little bit more stiff. It'll give me a little bit more control, and I feel like I need that. So I get the idea of this being like a cream liner where you can put it down and put a powder shade on top of it and blend out and diffuse those edges really easily. It sounds good in theory, but I don't know if this is for me. I don't like the lack of control that I feel, and this just feels so waxy. I really just don't like the way it feels on my eye. See, now it's starting to shear out in certain places, which is what I thought would happen. And to be honest, this shade right here, it doesn't even look that noteworthy. Like, it doesn't really look purpley. It doesn't really look plummy. It just kind of looks like a dark brown or a dark gray. I'm not that impressed. So Friendos, I'm going to go back in with that initial brush that I started with. We're going to go into the shade Winter once again. I'm just going to use this to connect my bottom lash line to that wing. So Friendos, I'm going to dust around the edges one more time. So Friendos, I'm going to pop off camera for just a moment. I'll be right back to you. Don't go anywhere because we still have a lot to talk about with this palette. All right, so the liner and lashes are now on. Let's finish up the look with some lips, with some blush, and then I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I think about this palette. So guys, I wanna go in with Loverboy and Jacqueline's Luminous Rouge formula. This has been a very bright orangey terracotta, and I feel like it would balance really well with the eyeshadow look that we have going. And Friendos, this is dangerous. You have to go in with such a light hand. And then I'm going to go in with some Hourglass bronzer. Then I'm going to finish off with my P. Louise lip liner in the shade Achievements. And I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Lively. So Friendos, let's chat. This palette costs $67. Of course, you get 18 shades, all these different formulas. Am I impressed? Do I think that you should spend $67 on this palette? So you guys know I'm kind of crazy. I'll spend upwards of $130 on an eyeshadow palette if the formulation pleases me, if it's a brand that I trust. So Huda definitely is a brand that I trust. If she puts out a palette, I'm most likely going to pick it up if it's one of her bigger sizes. I have been shying away from her smaller ones. These 18 pan palettes typically are made in Italy. This one is too, but the smaller ones are made in China and they come with a $30 price tag. Anywhoosies, I thought that the mattes in this palette were fantastic. Everything looked beautiful. Everything brought pigmentation. Everything blended out a-okay. For me, I'm a little bit disappointed in the more sparkly shades. Not all of them, but especially this gold one right here. It was hard to get on my eye. I'm not someone who likes to stick my finger in and then apply just from a precision standpoint. I can't get the precision that I can get by using my finger that I can with my brush. Now, maybe you can. And if you can, friendo, well then shout it from the rooftops. You are a pro. So for me, having those glitters be so difficult to pick up on a brush, and I did try both synthetic and I also tried a natural fibers brush. I know a lot of people will say you need one or the other. I tried both. It was very hard to pick up either way. And then as far as the eyeliners are concerned, they're one of those things that it just seems like it's a good idea in theory. I don't know if I really like them. I'm just going to be real with you guys. This is a personal taste thing for me. They felt really waxy, and then I was really disappointed in just the color payoff that we're getting right here. Like, this just doesn't really look like anything. It looks like a dark gray. I don't think it's supposed to be a dark gray. It looks different in the pan. Also, you have to work, I don't want to say quickly, but you can't work with them slowly, because if you do, then you'll start to get patchiness and it'll start to tug. It doesn't feel very good on the eye. I'm not a fan of how it feels on my eyes. With that said, I do think that the color story is gorgeous. I think Huda's really, really good at coming up with these very flattering color stories. And I do feel like this is something different. This is something that we haven't seen in a very long time. So whether or not I think you'll enjoy this palette, well, friendos, use the information I gave you and you'll have to make that determination for yourselves. And if you're still on the fence, I told you, we'll be doing a 2 looks 1 palette. We need to see if we can get more looks out of this palette. I'm gonna be real, I don't feel like we're gonna see a lot of differentiation in color story, but I'll do my best. We'll see what we can come up with together. And I really hope that you did enjoy today's video, that you found the information that I shared with you valuable. Thank you all so much for watching all the way to the end. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your day. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you have not done so already, because if not, we'll both have to live in the sorrow of never knowing what could have been. Alright guys, have a great one. Bye.